Today we're going to be talking about the Citadel H2 from Black Ember, and I was pretty excited to get my hands on this bag because I've been a longtime fan of the Citadel R3, so I wanted to check out what was new and going on with the H2. Now I've had this bag for about 5 weeks and I've used this bag exclusively for about 2.5 weeks. So of course today I'm going to tell you what it's been like living with this bag. We're going to do a full walkthrough, and then towards the end of the video we'll do a full loadout to show you exactly what fits in here, what I carried, and also how this bag can be used in a light travel situation. But if all that sounds good, let's start unpacking all of the details of the Black Ember Citadel H2. So the H2 is built on the Citadel platform. So if you're in any way familiar with the R3, this bag definitely is going to look and feel the same as the R3, but there's going to be some key differences in the design of this bag. So the first and immediately noticeable difference of the design of the H2 is going to be the dual water bottle pockets on each side of the bag. Now that's a first for Black Ember. Previously on the R3 models, you had some laser cut slots on the side there where you can add a modular water bottle attachment. So that's the thing of the past. Here with the H2, you do now have 2 stretch water bottle pockets on each side. And the biggest change, probably besides the water bottle pockets from the R3 here, is going to be that this is a half zip backpack. So the R3 is available in a 25 liter, and that's what the H2 is here, currently only available in one size. Now that's a full clamshell bag and this is a half zip bag, and you might be thinking to yourself, you know, what are the differences, advantages, disadvantages? They're kind of the same. You know, the only advantage to a full clamshell backpack over the half zip is obviously you get that full access. So that's really important, I guess, when you're packing for a travel situation. But to be honest with you, even in this half zip orientation, a packing cube fits perfect in here. You can just slide it in, which I'm going to demonstrate for you at the back end of the video when I do the loadout. But in an everyday situation, I find myself using the half zip style even more. So even when I do EDC a full clamshell bag, I'm still only zipping halfway down on each side. I'm not laying my bag down at the office and filleting it open every time to get my stuff in and out. I'm setting it down, I'm zipping halfway each side, and I'm getting to my things that way. Because this bag is a true half zip design, all the pockets here are going to be oriented from the top down axis. So your 2 front pockets here, your laptop pocket, and even you have a pocket on the inside here. Let's see if I can get it on camera. It's tucked down in there. It's all going to be top down axis. I found that this bag's layout and organization is very simple and minimal. So it kind of caters to people like me who use pouches. And again, with this half zip orientation, if you're loading a bunch of different organizers and pouches, super easy to grab your things. On the flip side, if you're somebody who needs a lot of organization, stretch pockets, pin pockets, you're not really going to find that here. So on the inside of this bag, we're actually using 2 different liners. You have a 200 denier liner and a 400 denier liner on the side. I believe this is also the 400D material for this top pocket. Now on this back side, you have that gray contrasting color to help you find your gear. You do have 1 additional pocket down at the bottom. Now this isn't a stretch pocket. It is definitely not stretchy. Now you can definitely slide magazines, folders, business papers perhaps would easily fit down in there as well. And on the flip side, you have 1 mesh pocket that's down at the bottom. I really didn't find that pocket too useful because everything you put in the main cavity is pushing against that pocket, but it is there. I never used it. So this pocket is pretty sneaky because it looks and it lays flat. It kind of looks like a similar traditional pocket you would see on most backpacks, but once you open it up, it does have a pretty wide gusset. So just for demonstration purposes, this is my normal tech kit that I carry. It's a pretty good size. This is a Filip Raboch tech kit, and this entire tech kit fits easily into that pocket. Like it was almost like it was made for it. So you can fit quite a bit of things into this pocket internally. You know, like I said, it reminds me of the pocket inside the GR2, but just know that anything you put into this is also going to be competing with space and volume on the other side. And that's pretty much the interior in a nutshell. You're going to see some Hyperlon accents throughout this bag, which Black Ember is really known for. They laser cut all of their panels and they use Hyperlon where a lot of other places use nylon. So you do have this little handle here to get this pocket open. But again, being Black Ember is not a simple nylon handle. It is laser cut Hyperlon, and you do have a little bit of branding there on the inside. Like I mentioned earlier, I am a big fan of the R3, especially the overall aesthetic of the bag. So I was excited to see that carry over here into the H2 despite it being a new design. Now, I always imagined that this is the type of bag that Morpheus would carry in the Matrix or Neo. It has a very techie feel to it because of the laser cut hyperlon and all of the accents of this bag. So it gives it a techie vibe, but I think overall the bag's look, similar to the Aer City Pack Pro 2, is very suitable for any scenario, whether it be office or travel. I think that this shape and style of the bag can go anywhere, but I do pick up a little techiness in the overall aesthetic. So the primary fabric on this bag here is Black Ember's own EmberTex fabric. They used to use a Recore and I was a huge fan of that Recore material, but I also like this EmberTex a lot. It's a 1200 by 600 denier nylon 6 material. It feels like a ballistic nylon, but a micro ballistic nylon. And I actually have a micro ballistic nylon bag. This is my Artera Falcon. You can probably see the weave, how tight it is a little bit on this bag here for being micro ballistic. This one is a little bit softer here on the Artera Falcon, but that could be because the bag is less structured and this bag is very rigid. So they feel similar as far as their weave and their look. It's very tight. It's pretty resistant to dust and pet hair, and it will pick up a couple of scuffs and pet hairs and stuff like that. But this material overall is going to be very easy to clean. As for the rest of the materials of this bag, as per usual, Black Ember always uses the highest end stuff. So in addition to having the AquaGuard zippers that are going to provide you some additional weather protection, they use a technology called bond stitch. Now, I don't know the exact ins and outs of bond stitching, but as you would know, as you stitch a backpack together, you're poking thousands of holes in this bag to put it together, so you're essentially weakening its weather resistance. But through this bond stitch process that Black Ember uses, I think it's a way to shore up the stitching a little bit to make this bag weatherproof. Now, it's not going to be waterproof, but with the EmberTex material, the bond stitch technology that they're using, and the AquaGuard zippers, this bag should be heavily weather resistant. And all the other materials are going to be great. You have aluminum hardware up here. Now this handle is still modular like it was on the R3, but on the R3 you had attachment points on each side of the bag where you could attach a water bottle, or you could move your handle or add a handle. So those have now been eliminated from the H2 since you have built-in water bottle pockets. So it doesn't need to be modular, but I'm glad that it is because it allows for a little bit of aluminum hardware to be still used on the bag. Again, aluminum, adding metal hardware, it just adds to the premium factor for me. Is it necessary? No, but I remember the first time I got my first premium credit card, and it was an aluminum metal credit card, and just the weight of it, the sound that it makes, just gives it a little bit more premium feeling than your traditional old plastic credit card. And it's the same here. Instead of using plastic, they have aluminum. Everywhere there is plastic, it is going to be Woojin hardware. Again, good solid hardware. And for me, something else that gives this bag just a really premium feeling is that everywhere that there could have been nylon, like right here on your adjustable and removable sternum strap, they're using Hyperlon here for the ladder lock system for the straps here. You have Hyperlon tabs up here for the load lifters. Again, even right down to the bottom of the straps, more Hyperlon. So to me, that just gives the bag an overall more premium feeling than using traditional nylon. Is it necessary? No, but I definitely like it. Another cool little design feature here is the sewn-in built-in web keeper adjustment at the bottom of the strap. So as you adjust this strap, the web keeper stays sewn in with it. So you don't have to worry about that little piece of elastic you have to slip over, and sometimes it comes undone. It's built right into the bag. Now I will say that the first time adjusting this bag is a little tricky because you're trying to figure out how this whole system works. But after that, it's actually quite genius how they implemented the no dangle system there at the bottom of the bag. The sternum strap here is magnetic, and overall just gives me more of that Neo and Morpheus vibes to the overall bag. Now this bag is equipped with load lifters, and lots of people, and I agree with them, do you need load lifters on a 25-liter bag? No, you don't need them, but I'm glad to have them there. Now, this isn't a wired frame backpack, so these load lifters aren't really lifting the load. They're more just pulling that top of the pack closer to the top of your body. Now it does have a rigid frame sheet, so all you're really doing is bending that frame sheet forward, giving the back panel a little bit of curve to kind of fit your shape of your body. So while it's not needed and it's not really lifting the load, I find it useful, and you can see that I actually have implemented it here. So I do have a little bit of angle to the straps there just to close that gap at the top of the pack. It just makes it feel a little bit more comfortable. But it is something to note that be careful on how much you adjust these. Like I said, you are bending that frame sheet forward. You're not really lifting the load. So I would play around with the lifting a little bit here on the load lifters, because it could really affect your comfort if you really crank them down or not enough. So all I'm saying is, if you do use the load lifters there and you find something uncomfortable about the bag, I would definitely take a look at readjusting those, because that could affect your overall comfort. Now, speaking of comfort, it looks like it's the same harness system as they use on the R3, which for me was a pleasant surprise, because I actually thought the R3 was a very comfortable bag, and to no surprise, I also feel the same way about the H2. Contributing to the comfort are going to be these nice contoured straps. You have that mesh on the bottom there for breathability. I did find that overall foam a little bit stiff right out of the box. As I wore the bag, it became less stiff, so I'm not quite sure if I'm really breaking it in or I just became used to the stiffness, but after a couple of days, it felt more dialed in than it initially did out of the box. And to help complement the comfort of these straps, you do have some more foam on the back panel covered by this breathable mesh. If you put your fingers down into it, or depending on how the light shines, you can actually see that this foam is actually like Swiss cheese. It has holes all over the place. Again, I think that's for breathability. Overall, I felt the back panel's comfort and breathability to be pretty good. Right down the center, you have an air channel that can help with that breathability, and also you have a horizontal luggage pass-through. I do think it was a strange design choice to put a horizontal luggage pass-through on a bag that has every access point vertically from the top. So when you do slide this down on your roller luggage, everything is going to be from the side now. So it's not really ideal, especially if you're somebody who likes to work off your laptop or access your bag a lot during layovers and things like that. So it would have been nice to have a vertical luggage pass-through, so this bag sits upright and you have full access to every pocket on this bag, including your water bottle pockets. And I do think there's enough room here on the back panel to have implemented that. So maybe that's a design change we'll see in the future rendition of the bag, but for now, that could be a potential issue, especially if you're a frequent traveler, is that this bag is always going to be on its side while its access points are always going to be from the top. So there are no more modular attachment points for the top handle, but I'm glad to see that they kept the modular attachment points for the compression straps. Now they are sold separately, but it's a fun way to add a pop of color. When I had my R3, I had the black R3 and I added the orange compression straps there to give it a little pop of orange. Additionally, of course, you get the functionality of being able to carry like a yoga mat, a tripod, a beach towel, anything you want to at the bottom of the bag. So I love to see that there. Now back to the minimal organization in this bag. You still have these two front pockets. This pocket is quite big, but there is no additional pocketing or anything down in this bag. It has a decent amount of volume, and it is pretty deep, almost half the size of the bag. Now when you get to this top quick access pocket, only has one padded divider on the inside. There are no stretch pockets, no pen pockets, anything of that nature. So if you're carrying a cell phone or a Kindle and you have this padded divider to keep it separated from your other things like your keys, now you do have an integrated key leash here. Now this is one small detail that I really appreciate about Black Ember. This is a Fidlock hardware. You know, they're not the first and only company to implement a magnetic key leash into their bags, but using name brand, probably more expensive hardware like Fidlock just adds to that premiumness of this bag's overall feeling. So since the weather resistance on this bag is really good, this is going to be a great choice to carry your laptop and other tech essentials. Now this bag does have a dedicated laptop compartment. Again, YKK AquaGuard zipper protecting that as well. And on the inside, you have a fully suspended laptop sleeve with a tablet sleeve on the backside. According to the website, this bag should easily hold up to a 16-inch laptop. I actually have a 17-inch 3D printed Dell XP laptop, and it fits in there very nicely as well. But there's one issue, I don't know if you could tell, is when you're getting your laptop out and in, it rides against the zipper track here, and it's also the same on the other side of this pack. I have a 3D printed iPad Pro 13-inch. Now keep in mind there's no case, no keyboard on this, but it will also fit down into the tablet sleeve there. But you have the same issue going into this sleeve. It rides against the zipper tracks here. So it's just something to keep in mind. You could potentially scratch your device, but the larger iPad Pro will fit, and the 17-inch laptop will also fit in the backside there. Now your devices riding against the zipper tracks is a common thing I found on this bag. I felt that when I was retrieving items out of this front pocket and this top pocket, that the openings were just a little bit too tight. So I have pretty good sized mitts, I would say. So getting my hand in and out of here, I found that the zipper tracks were almost you know, grinding against my skin, especially my knuckles. It made it pretty unpleasant to get in and out of these pockets. I felt that they were tight overall, the opening. I almost wish that this opening here was kind of down to the sides like you would find on the Aer City Pack Pro, the Rework Toshi Pack, just giving you a little bit more room to make this mouth a little bit wider. So that it is something that I did notice on this bag, that my knuckles were grinding against the zipper tracks in all 3 compartments of the outside, and you can audibly hear the zipper tracks scraping against your devices because the opening is very tight on the back laptop compartment as well. Another reason I think that this is a great pack to carry lots of tech, expensive tech, even camera cubes with your camera equipment in, is because of course of the weather resistance that this bag offers, but there's a little bit of baked in security features as well. Now these long zipper pulls, they're Hypalon, they do have a little bit of branding, but they're there for a reason. Now you can actually look at the end of the zipper garage there, you'll see an eyelet, and you can actually thread your zipper pull right through there. Now that's going to give you a little bit of protection. So if somebody's going to try to get into your bag, you're definitely going to feel it because it's not going to be as smooth as opening up a regular zipper. Now on the downside, they are very long and you'll have these long spear-like shapes hanging from your bag. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, visually it wasn't the most pleasing. And I even noticed it on some of the product shots on the website. I actually don't even have zipper pulls. I think it was just to keep all this from distracting you. But the good thing is, if you don't like these zipper pulls, you can always change them out. But I did find them distracting sometimes because of how they just kind of hang out and do their own thing like they are here. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the tech specs for you up on the screen. Please feel free to give that a pause if you wanna get a better look at any of those numbers. Now this is a 25-liter capacity bag as listed on the website, and I pretty much agree with that. I would say the main compartment is about 22 liters, and you're gonna gain the additional 3 liters from the front 2 pockets and water bottle pockets. So I do think it's pretty spot on, but the inside main cavity definitely felt similar to like a 21, 22 liter bag. Now currently at the time of filming, this bag does come in 2 colors, the black that I have for you here, and also a limited edition coyote color. So the only other really number of note that stuck out to me on the tech specs was the overall listed weight of 3.5 pounds. If I remember correctly, I think it weighed 3.7 pounds on my personal luggage scale. So it is kind of heavy for an everyday carry bag, but given the build construction and materials, like I said, it's a very rigid bag. It feels pretty burly. It feels like a heavy bag, and it looks like a bag that's gonna last a very long time. So it's definitely gonna have some heft to it. So looking at the bag specs on paper, this bag should pass as a personal item easily on most flights. And just looking at the bag, I would say that it's going to be the case 99.9% of the time. But if you actually have to put this bag in a sizer, now this is the most common size. Not every airline uses this size. Now on paper, this should easily fit into the sizer. It's well within the limits of the sizer. But due to the bag's rigidity and that frame sheet on the back side of the bag, it's actually quite difficult to get it in the sizer box packed at a medium level. So again, I don't think nobody's gonna give you crap at any airline that this bag is too big, because it is within the specs, but the overall rigidity makes it difficult to get it into my personal item sizer box. I would 100% still use this as a personal item, but I just wanted to demonstrate that for you here in case you do have to stuff it into a sizer of this size. That could be a little difficult. Now this bag is priced at $265, so that's definitely in that premium, upper end of the premium end of backpacks. But I do feel it's a $265 bag. It's one of the few bags that when you unbox and pull it out and get your hands on it, you can be like, oh yeah, I can definitely see that this looks, feels, tastes, and smells like a premium backpack. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying today's video or you found any value in today's video, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as that directly supports me and the channel, and it helps me keep bringing you these awesome review and walkthrough videos. Thank you. So one of the things that I really appreciated the most about this backpack is going to be the choice of materials and the overall quality and construction of this bag. It is built with intention, it's built to last, it's backed by a lifetime warranty, so that shows you the confidence the company has in their product. You might even say that this bag's overbuilt, but everything about this bag, from the choice of using Hyperlon where other companies use nylon, the laser cut panels and how everything is put together, the anodized aluminum hardware, and, you know, all the bells and whistles, it looks and feels great. It looks like it feels it's gonna last you a very long time. Very premium feeling bag. Another thing I appreciated is the overall simplicity in the layout. There's not a ton of little pockets, so you know, depending on your packing style, that could be a negative for you, but for me, it's a con. I like to pack modularly. I use pouches and tech kits and things of that nature. So the overall simple layout with the half zip design really catered to my style of carry. So I found that in everyday carry mode, it worked great for me. And the last box that this bag checked for me is the overall comfort. I do find Black Ember's harness to be quite comfortable, almost identical, if not the same, to the R3. And like I said, while many people don't think load lifters are needed for a 25-liter pack, they are nice to have just to dial in, fine tune the overall adjustment of the harness system. So overall, I do think it's very comfortable. Now, no bag is perfect, and there are some downsides to this bag here. Really, the main issue I had with this pack was how tight these zipper openings were. Whether it's the front pocket, top pocket, or the laptop pocket. Like I said, I have a pretty good sized hand, and getting in to get something out of this pocket, I just felt the zipper teeth right here. You can kind of hear it, like they're just grinding on my hand and my knuckles. So it's the same for the top quick access pocket and the laptop compartment, but on the laptop compartment, it's more grinding against your devices, more so my knuckles. But I almost wish, like I said earlier, that these zipper tracks had a little bit more room to them to give them a little bit of a wider mouth opening. But overall, it's just something that I really noticed, and especially if the bag is more on the pack side, the tighter it was and the more the grinding I felt on my knuckles. Now, another con to this bag, depending on how much you travel, is the horizontal luggage pass-through. Every access point to this bag is top down vertical, so I really do think they should have implemented a vertical luggage pass-through here. Again, only a potential con depending on the amount you travel and how much access you need to the bag when you're traveling. This is something to consider if you're thinking about getting this bag. And lastly, this bag is a little bit heavy for a 25-liter bag. While I do think the harness system is forgiving and you won't notice the weight as much, it's just something to keep in mind. If you're looking for a lightweight bag, this one is definitely not going to be on that lightweight side. So overall, I am very happy with the Citadel H2. I think the half zip design really excelled for me in everyday carry situation, but also if you're somebody who carries a lot of tech, expensive camera equipment, the bag's weather resistance and security features there could also be a great selling point for you as well. If you're somebody who requires a lot of organization, this may not be the bag for you. There are no small mesh pockets, pin pockets. It really caters to more of the pouch crowd. Even this front pocket here, while it's very big and has plenty of space in there, if you throw all your loose items in there, they're all just gonna sink to the bottom and create this bulge. They could conflict with whatever's packed on the inside of this bag. So this backpack really excels with the use of pouches and packing cubes and camera cubes, things like that. So like this front pocket, I found the best use case was this EVERGOODS Cap 1. Put all your tech in there and you can see that it's evenly distributed throughout that pocket. So it's really on you to keep your smaller things organized no matter where you're putting them in this bag. Now, I've really enjoyed using this bag, but I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about the new Citadel H2 from Black Ember with the implementation of the half zip design with dual water bottle pockets? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you already own this bag, definitely tell me how it's been using this bag. I like to compare our user experiences across multiple owners, you know, just to kind of see things through a different lens. Now, if you have any more questions about this bag, definitely put them in the comments down below. I respond to every single comment. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. So if this one ain't it, we're definitely gonna help you get you into the right bag. So let's pack this bag out so I can show you what exactly fits into this bag. I'm gonna show you what I carry, but I'm also gonna show you what a packing cube and a travel setup would look like in this bag as well. Now, just because this bag isn't a full clamshell bag doesn't mean you still can't use it for that quick weekend trip. Now, I have an entire weekend's worth of clothes, pants, shorts, socks, underwears, you name it. This is the medium packing cube from Peak Design, and you can see that it will easily still slide down into the bottom of the bag, still giving you room up top. Now, keep in mind, this is a 25-liter bag, so it's more personal item size, but my entire weekend load I can easily fit there. I can throw my Dopp kit up top, and I still have a little room here where I can put some more things. I can even toss in my tech kit. This is the EVERGOODS Cap 1. So there I have my clothes, I have my toiletries, and I have my tech all loaded into the main compartment for that weekend trip. Now, this top pocket up here is where I chose to put my first aid kit, my little boo-boo kit right there, and also where I put my Black Ember MagFold wallet. It's a zipper within a zippered pocket, so I feel pretty secure in there keeping my wallet in here, but it'll fit right next to my first aid kit. Now, while this pocket does have a lot of room, just know that anything you put in there is also sharing volume with this backside. So if you put bulky stuff in here, it's definitely going to push into here and make it tight when you try to put your quick access items. Because of that padded divider, you can easily carry electronics in this top quick access pocket. So a great place to put your phone, or if you have a Kindle, this is my 3D printed Kindle, it'll easily fit down into that compartment as well. Now, I don't have a Kindle, but what I did carry in this quick access pocket was my keys. So I can easily take this off and attach it to my key ring. Because it's magnetic, it's really easy to attach your keys and put them in there. That padded divider is going to keep it protected from scratching up your devices. Now, the only other things I kept up in this quick access pocket are my sunglasses. I have my portable power bank, which I keep separate from my tech because I want quicker access to my portable power bank. And I have some chewing gum and some chapstick there. And that's pretty much my entire loadout for a travel setup. Now, for what I actually carried in this bag, I always carry a lunch. Now, this is my Carhartt Lunchbox. I usually use a Bellroy cooler caddy, but I found that the taller, slimmer form factor of the Carhartt fit a little bit better, kind of like a packing cube down into the bottom of the bag. Next to my lunchbox, I have my DMade Dopp kit in here. I have my bulky laptop charger, laptop stand, mouse, all the tech I need for work. And this form factor fit perfectly on the side next to my lunch. Now, you still have all this room up top. Great place to put my Moleskine notebook back here behind in the sleeve. And also a pair of over-the-ear headphones, my Sony XM6 with the case, easily fit is there as well. Even with this stuff loaded in here, you still have plenty of room where you can add layers, especially if it's still cold where you live. Sometimes I had a beanie and gloves thrown in here as well because the weather is really bipolar here in Texas. You have starting temperatures in the 30s and then you're up in 80 by the afternoon. So having more extra room to put those layers always came in handy. Now, I could easily fit my tech in this front pocket as well, but I normally carried it in this front pocket because I just wanted quicker access to my entire tech. So like I said, longer, thinner pouches do a little bit better and it keeps it organized. And the reason I choose to put it in an organizer is just like I mentioned earlier, if you put everything loosely in here, it just all sinks to the bottom and it makes this bottom portion extremely tight. So when you're trying to get your lunch in and out, it's just fighting with all the bulk down at the bottom. But organizing the cap one, no problem at all. Every compartment has been loaded out. I still have my 3D prints in here from earlier. This is the 17-inch Dell with a 13-inch iPad Pro, but do note it is 3D printed, so it is the exact size as the iPad Pro 13-inch, but there is no case, no keyboard, and that will fit down in there as well. Now, my normal device that I use every single day for work is only a 14-inch, so there's plenty of room left at the top there in this laptop compartment. So lastly, the biggest selling point to this bag are going to be the water bottle pockets. Now, I recently downgraded to an 18-ounce Yeti Rambler. I previously always used the 26-ounce version of the Yeti Rambler. I just found it's just difficult to carry this in some bags, and while I force it and it does work, it's just the user experience is not that great. So I finally gave it up. Finally, for the last about month, I've been using the 18-ounce. It fits better in way more bags than the 26-ounce. So of course, no surprise here. It fits beautifully into the side water bottle pocket here. Now, like again, you can fit that 26-ounce Rambler in there. It's just not as smooth and it's a little bit tighter, but it will fit in there as well. So really just know that there's a little bit of play here in the water bottle pocket depending on what you carry. I just found that the 18-ounce looks nicer, carries better, and only downside is I have to refill my bottle more, but I have to get up more from my desk, and that can't be a bad thing. If you made it this far into this video, I want to say thank you so much for sticking around to the end. A special thank you to Black Ember for sending the Citadel H2 out for me to test and review. Now, if you like this bag, but it's not quite the one for you, luckily I have reviewed tons of different everyday carry backpacks, and you can find that playlist right here. There should be something in there for everybody. Maybe take a look at the Aer City Pack Pro 2, maybe the EVERGOODS CTB20. Lots of good videos there on my EDC playlist, so definitely check that out if the Black Ember Citadel H2 was not the one for you.